All right, so I only have a few minutes to go live about this before I go to work. I'm starting to learn that when I'm live, I tend to get more attention than when I upload a pre-made video. So I'm going to just get on here live and I'm going to just speak my thoughts. My thoughts are scattered, and I had several major thoughts that links to the title of this live. Why you should be mad at the Bop House. Here are the real reasons, because a few things dawned on me in the last 72 hours because I got the Bop House stuff in my in my feed. I can't even think this morning. So the real reasons why I think you should be mad at the Bop House, and I don't think these are ranked. I think they're all interconnected as being equally important. So let's think about this for a moment. Now, as far as I know, women like attention. They want to hog attention to themselves because they think that they're perfect 10 out of 10s and blah, 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 right? They usually want the guy's time, attention, and money all to herself. So it brings up the first question. Why are they in such a rush to recruit new members? In fact, why be so desperate to recruit a new member that they would sign on a minor, Piper Raquel? Which I think that by the time this live kit will be seen by anybody, she's 18. But I'm saying, and I'm even saying that their visual appearance is not that of someone who's in their upper teens through mid 20s. They still look like children. I'm just saying. Now, this brings up another question. There's a video floating out in YouTube somewhere in cyberspace where Sophie talked about how she made 4 million in a month. Meanwhile, in the same exact videos, the other members of her fellow coworker female counterparts had earned in the six-figure range. So I'm wondering about this discrepancy where there's like a discrepancy of 90%. How did all that money come in? Because she said that she got a money from Sophie got money $5 million from one person, and I'm starting to think that that $5 million from a quote unquote Charles was an investment from James Charles. I'm starting to think that, and people say why? Well, sometime later, as Bop House members fall out with one another, you see James Charles right there in the video. So, and I don't pay much attention to it, but I'm starting to get annoyed with all this Bop House stuff in my feed. I've been hearing it, on videos when I'm looking up other stuff and I'm looking up podcasts and other stuff, other information, and the term the Bop House kept on coming up over and over again. I'm like, what the heck is a Bop House? And then I saw it, and my eyes were widened, and I'm like, what the absolute bleep is this? Which brings up another thing. We have spent the better part of a bare minimum, a decade, telling people, telling guys, don't be pathetically addicted. I can't say SIMP because I'm concerned about YouTube and their demonetization. So all I'm going to say is I'm going to just spell it out, or I'll just say pathetically addicted males. Don't get pathetically addicted to these females. We spent the better part of a decade telling guys that. Um, Skip what? What are you saying, RM? What? I hope that's actually somewhat relevant, or I'm deleting your comment. Anyway, so my problem with the Bop House is all these lies about the age. They're lying and saying that they're 2 years younger than they actually are. I'll say it again. The Bop House lies about being 2 years older than they actually are. Reminds me of the whole Danielle Cohn situation, if anybody remembers that. And so one, we spent all these years telling guys, don't be SIMPs. Don't do it. The women don't care. You're either talking to a man or you're talking to a bot. And you're paying this money to see they're not even taking their clothes off. That's another thing. So you're like, how is it that one girl gets millions while the other girls are getting six figures? So does Sophie own a portion of the other girls' careers? Because I'm starting to think that there's a huge discrepancy here between earnings of one and earnings of the other. So that's all I'm trying to say. There's something extremely weird going on here. I personally think that the one person called quote unquote Charles that gave her all that money, the 5 million, I'm starting to think it was James Charles. I'm really starting to think so. James Charles is rich. It's literally in his name. And as the Bob House goes on, he appears in videos later as the members have falling outs with one another. Kind of makes me feel a little weird. Like it's kind of weird. How like what is up with that discrepancy? Now the thing is that I'm starting to think that one they're lying about their age, but two they're lying about their income. How is it that that screenshot that Sophie showed people the $43 million? I'm starting to actually think that it was actually the Bop House as a whole, like the entire legal name of the Bop House. I think that's what it was. I don't think that was her individual account. I'm sincerely doubting that. I think that she lied about her individual income because the thing is that we know women to be kind of addicted to the attention and time and money of other people. So why are they in such a rush to recruit someone else, even being as desperate as to recruit a girl named Piper Raquel, who I have to say physically looks like a child. I have to say it. And it's not meant to be a diss. I'm just irritated that people are like not kind of seeing through the bull crap, like not seeing through it as deeply because there are people like, okay, something's going on here. I'm really thinking that for some reason it's just a little too weird. It's like all these people are all these people are in such a rush to join something and to objectify themselves, but in the claim somehow is that you can out earn someone who takes their clothes off and engages in what do you call it, booty clapping sounds for a living, and you're telling me somehow some way Sophie out earned it without ever getting naked. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the Bop House as a whole most definitely did earn that kind of money. But having a house that costs 70,000 a month, I don't think so. There's too many liabilities. You got to think that one over. Even Sophie says she gets taxed out the wazoo. So how is it that you earned all those millions? I'm just bringing up a question. It's not meant to be a diss. It's meant to say that you already lied about your age. You already lied about being a Christian because Christian women don't lie when there's no lives at stake. I know because I read the whole Bible, so I could tell you exactly that there's no way like that this is anything less than a persona. Which makes me, I'm closing out this live because I gotta actually go to work soon. And yes, I will admit it formally that I am salty that after all this time trying to deprogram guys, and yes, I'm hitting the armrest in my car after all these years telling guys don't be pathetically addicted. We're still having guys that are pathetically addicted. Yes, a good chunk of them are teenagers, which is probably the real reason why they're not taking their clothes off, because that would be called child bleep abuse. I can't finish that word. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, it would be a felony if they could actually get in trouble for that. So there's no way that they're being paid millions just to do these little dances. I sincerely doubt that. I think that the money that they got was actually an investment, and that's why they have to recruit more people and split the time and attention from their other viewers. Because if they don't, they're not going to be able to pay James Charles back his $5 million. So was just a few thoughts. I might go live again about this topic later, but for now, I'm going to sign out. Thank you to everybody who came in. Make sure you hit the like button, all that good stuff, and I'm out.